I'm at Portland International Airport in Oregon to fly a route that Delta no longer operates. I will be flying from here to Amsterdam in the Netherlands, and in this video I'm going to go over some facts about Delta's former Portland hub, as well as some facts about this route to Amsterdam as well. Delta has had a major influence in this airport in the past, and that is still clearly evident as their logo is on most of the seats in this part of the terminal. Similar to Delta's Raleigh to Paris route now being served by Air France, this route from Portland, Oregon to Amsterdam is now being served by one of Delta's partners, in this case being KLM. Delta's Amsterdam flight usually departed from the International Concourse, which is just the end of the D gates here in Portland, and actually pretty much departed from the same gate all of the time, which was D11. And this is still evident as when you go to satellite view on Google Maps, you can see a Delta A330. Delta operated this route pretty much daily using their Airbus A330, and I took the flight about a week before the route ended, with its last day of operations being October 25th, 2024. My aircraft for this flight is N822NW, an Airbus A330-300 that was delivered directly to Delta in May of 2015.
For Delta Flight 178, headed to Amsterdam, here at DC11, we'd like to welcome aboard Zone 1, you're welcome aboard.
I was fortunate enough to be sitting in DeltaOne for this flight over to Amsterdam, with my seat being 6A, a window on the left side of the aircraft. The seats were pretty comfortable, with a personal TV in front of you with a remote. To your left and slightly behind you there was a plug, as well as a USB port, as well as a place to plug in the noise-canceling headphones that the airline provided. The previously mentioned headphones are also right next to you on the left. They offered orange juice or champagne prior to pushback from the gate. And prior to pushback, they also took our dinner orders as well.
Again, everyone, welcome on board Delta Flight 178 service now to Amsterdam. On behalf of Delta Airlines and especially the crew serving today, we want to thank you for choosing to fly with us.
Behind the wings have detachable slides that can be used for flotation.
This take 220 at 14, again, 22. Okay, clear to take 28 left, Delta 178. Heavy light to moderate precipitation, so it's another 8 miles to the west, contact departure. Going to report Delta 178, take care.
Delta's Airbus A330s do have an older version of DeltaOne, but I'll go over the seat features before the dinner service starts. The panel to turn your seat into a bed, as well as anything else seat movement-wise, is located on a panel just in front of you. Also in front of you is the remote, which is connected to a retractable cord. And did show the age of these seats, as the remote had a credit card reader in it from a time when using the screen required a payment. These older DeltaOne seats are at an angle, so in the same place as the seat control panel, there's a button to release the television to swing it out. But you do need to have a hand out and ready, as it swings out pretty rapidly. This button is how you bring out the tray table. About 30 minutes after takeoff is when they brought around our tablecloth, as well as a bowl of warm nuts and a drink. Delta has quite the history in Portland in terms of international routes, and they even operated a hub out of Portland for their Asian flights up until the mid-2000s. With Delta actually operating their first ever trans-Pacific flight out of Portland, Oregon to Tokyo in 1987. Delta had planned to restart Portland, Oregon to Seoul in South Korea, but that service never started back up. About an hour after takeoff is when they brought around our meal. The meal consisted of shrimp, mushroom soup, mixed green salad, as well as a bread roll. Once I was done with my soup, they brought around the main course, which was a choice of 3 options, either beef, chicken, or pasta, and I chose the pasta option for this flight, which had nut-free basil pesto, roasted cherry tomatoes, as well as butter sauce. After the meal had been cleaned up, they asked everybody to close their windows and they turned the cabin lights down, signaling it was time to start getting ready to go to bed. This is also when they brought out the dessert cart, which was 3 options. We could choose either an ice cream sundae, a fruit and cheese plate, or a chocolate cake. I chose the ice cream sundae, which came with cherries, chocolate sauce, cookie crumble, as well as whipped cream. Just under 7 hours left in the flight. The cabin lights have pretty much been turned completely off, and most people have settled in for the night. If you need a snack in the middle of the night for the DeltaOne cabin, there is a snack basket at the forward part of the cabin. I put my seat into the lie flat position and decided to get some sleep. At some point in the middle of the night I did wake up, and although it's hard to see on camera, I was able to see the northern lights since I was on the left side of the aircraft. Roughly 5 hours after falling asleep, I woke up as they were turning the cabin lights on to get ready for the breakfast service. There was about an hour and a half left in the flight, and we were passing over Ireland as the breakfast service was brought out. The 2 options for breakfast were either a 3-cheese quiche or banana bread French toast. I chose the second option, which came with maple butter, cherry, as well as chicken sausage. The Portland to Tokyo and Amsterdam routes were the last 2 remaining, and with Tokyo getting scrapped in 2023, with Amsterdam gone, Delta now only flies to Portland from their hubs, ending the age of Delta's international service from Portland, as well as their former hub in the city. Before landing, the flight attendants did bring around chocolates for all the passengers in DeltaOne. wonderful flight in Delta in their DeltaOne cabin. As mentioned previously, this route no longer operates and the last day of the flight was October 25th, 2024, but KLM did start the route 2 days later on October 27th and operates the route 3 times a week. While it does stink that Delta is no longer serving it themselves, and the route went from daily to only 3 times a week, it's still good for the city of Portland that it didn't disappear completely, considering they no longer have Asia service at all after Delta ended that route. Plus, Delta is not lacking in Amsterdam flights, as the day after they ended Portland-Amsterdam, they restarted service from Amsterdam to both Orlando and Tampa, Florida. From here I stay in Amsterdam, but on the way back I take DeltaOne once again from Amsterdam, this time to Detroit, Michigan, on board Delta's A350.